Welcome to another episode of Progress, Potential, and Possibilities, discussions with fascinating people designing a better tomorrow for all of us. I'm your host, Ira Pastor.
Welcome, everybody, again to another episode of our show, bringing you another really great guest today who has been helping to create a better tomorrow throughout her career. Today, we have the honor of being joined by longtime a friend of the show, Ms. Victoria Laskina-Ustimenko, who is an entrepreneur across multiple industries. Over the years, she specialized in biotech, fashion, capital markets, been involved in cryptocurrency, and she, has been collaborating with a wide range of companies across the world, providing public relations services, business development services. As a distinguished young thinker from Ukraine, she graduated from Donetsk State University with a marketing degree, where she also studied public relations. Victoria currently serves in a variety of roles. She's a Chief Business Development Officer at the think tank TAFS, the Transdisciplinary Agora for Future Discussions, a very futuristic and futurism-looking organization. She has served as Chief Public Relations Officer and managing partner USB Capital, also at the Waves platform and AdHype TV as PR specialist, Cryptomatic ATM as a global business development manager, and she also operates currently a fashion agency in Moscow. Her futuristic and multidisciplinary vision of creating, as we say, on our word, a better tomorrow, but in her case, a better world, has led her to focus on her development as a progressive thinker, for exponential organizations both in Russia and the Ukraine. She's brought many wonderful guests to our show over the years, including themes like autonomous vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, novel information technology, bio-remediation in the case of Chernobyl. Several of these guests that have joined us over the past years. And she's generated, through her relationships, really great connections with scientists, philosophers, artists, and of course, entrepreneurs all around the world. And it's just a wonderful case of somebody that is constantly thinking about the future, constantly thinking about technology, innovation, and where we're all going as a people. And we're glad to have her with us today. Victoria Laskina-Ustimenko, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. Normally you bring us guests, but you're our guest today, and really glad to have you.
Thank you, Aaron. I'm glad that we have some interview, and it's a big honor for me to give you some interview.
It's, we've chatted, we've known each other for a couple of years now. We've constantly discussed technology and innovation over the years. And I really thought, you have a fascinating story in your own right. And I'd love to really, take time to talk about it. I want to start off because you have, once again, I always talk about our guest journeys, but your journey started off rather unique. I mean, you have a background that I believe started in Germany, headed to the Ukraine, then back and forth to Russia, all of these areas where you had a lot of work in innovation. Talk about the early days, though. Talk a little bit about where you were born, and a bit of those early travels that made you sort of an international person at a very young age.
So my father was a military man, and I was born in Germany, in Dresden. I have a twin sister. So I have some experience of communications from my young, when I was born. I have some experience in difficult communication with other person. And we Usually with my sister, conquer each other and study each other from various things. And the matter is that the main things that we promoted, that even if you are twins, you should have your own future, and you should be different. You should differ from other person, and even if you looks like the other one person, you will be different, and we promoted this difference. Right now, my sister is in Kiev. After Germany, our family moved to Ukraine, and from changing couple of cities, we went to Donetsk. It was in 19, and that's why our university, we choose for our studies, Donetsk National University. It was the best university in Ukraine for those times. We choose marketing and economics, but in the end of the of university of my when I almost done with my university, I go to Kiev. I went to Kiev and study work as a journalist of English newspaper Kyiv Weekly. And we worked for international embassies and write in English about social and political and cultural life of Ukraine. And it was one of the best years in my life, because it's like the first place of job, and we were as a big family. And in Kiev it is always so, because the city is small, and the people who are moving the industry forward usually know each other, and if you make some mistakes, of course, about those mistakes know everybody, but in any case you always get some help. And Kiev for those times was very cute European city. And I hope it will be in the future as well. In 2008, after several projects, I understand that it was the crisis of 2008. So I understand that all my projects in Ukraine were finished, and decided to move to Russia. And I thought that I will promote some fashion brand. But the crisis didn't give us this opportunity. So I started to move my career from the beginning. Usually, if you want to be a good PR pro, it is better if you start to work as a journalist, because you get all the contact, and you know the people with whom you will be working in the future. Besides, for some people, for me, for example, PR manager, just promotion of brand, not always seems so funny. When I started to work as a journalist, I read 99 franc of Frédéric Becbédère. And after that, I said to my sister, never read this book, because if you will read this book, you hate the advertising market and to work as an advertising manager. Because she worked as an advertising manager those time, and but in couple years I realized that it is some sort of true about the advertising business. Of course, not so nice, true, but yes, it's not so kind business in sometimes. And if you worked, usually I try to work with the brands that I like much, or in which I believe, or at least I could get some positive benefits to work with those brands, because there is some brands that I couldn't promote it in any case. But I was happy that the matter is, in 2008, there was one journal, one online site in Moscow. It was called Main People. And I was working as a PR director of Project Anti-Bank. It was a project devoted to, we tried to study people how to invest in forex market. So, but for this, we should broke up their look at how they spend and save money, and that's why our great leader and the owner of the agency where was as a PR pro, Viktor Konovalov, he think out some sort of aggression marketing strategy where we screaming on the streets that check your card because your bank is cheating you, and because you never do this in Russia. I realized it after in a couple of years, but in Ukraine you could do this and you didn't go to jail. So Ukraine, it's like some sort of small place Kiev of freedom for me. Those times are for sure. And I try to, I like this idea to try to get a quantity with all Moscow people using just platform like a blog without photos. I started to write there and started like some sort of blogger, and that's why when I arrived to Moscow, I know almost all the people from restaurant, nightclub industry, those because for that time I was working with various restaurants as a restaurant critic, and I make some PR for the various restaurants in Kiev, almost for all restaurant chains that were in Kiev. And all I know in restaurant business, it's based on my Kiev experience. And besides that, I even now I do a rare person in Moscow restaurants, because I do not love the audience and the style, because I already have some taste based on Kiev experience. And the matter is, frankly speaking, that Kiev restaurant chains usually open people who moved to immigrated to US and come back and open up their business in Ukraine and open up their restaurants. So they know something about the European cuisine, about the style, and they try to teach us this level of service. That's why besides that, you always get your salary time to date, so you never there is no especially for me, I never those in such a situation when I just didn't get my salary in the end of the month, which is usually very usual situation in Russian restaurant, because if Russian restaurant owner didn't see the profit in the end of the month, he could just decide that he didn't pay the salary to its workers, managers, etc. So that's why I worked in Russia only as a PR pro in restaurant only 1 year, and it was some sort of disaster. Unfortunately, I dreamed to get there, but unfortunately I was disappointed a little bit. No matter what, in Russia I started to work with IT area, and when I arrived I saw Live Journal, and I sent them my CV several times. Almost I've sent them CVs for a year. So in a year they invited me. Oh no, in 2 years they invited me. So I arrived in Moscow in 2008. When I go to work as a TV VJ for RU TV, and Russia.ru, reality girl. It's some reality show as VJ as well. And after that, my dream come true, and I arrived to Live Journal, make me some proposition. And besides that, the matter is, those time I've lost all my Ukrainian documents, so I was without documents, and when they made me some proposal, because they invited me, they liked my ideas, because they wanted to make some women blogosphere, women-led journal. It is called ZZZ. And invited me to be a project manager and chief editor and writer. Thanks God, the CEO of Live Journal those time was from Amsterdam. So when I said to her that I've lost all my documents and I'm Ukrainian, they just said that no problem, we'll solve your problem, and we will make some legal issues after that. So and I solved my problems. I solved my problems in a half a year. So when I broke up I moved out from the project, I only then I make some legal issues with the submedia. But in any case, it was some good, interesting experience, because first in my life I tried to rebuild the big website, blogosphere, and all my ideas automatically approved. So I was like a magician there. And there was some funny experience, because the first day when I come to office, I switch something. I didn't know HTML code, and the chief editor said me that I just started to work, and I switched something, and on the Live Journal Russia, there was a big photos of our photographer, and he was a big tall fat guy, about 50 years old, and everybody, 300 people, started to laugh. And then he looked at me and said, "Who is made this?" And I said, "It's not me." I said, "Oh gosh, I was fired. I will be fired." But nobody fired me, and it was my first day in Live Journal. In any case, I suppose that right now it doesn't exist, and Live Journal lost their level of popularity, unfortunately. I don't know why it happens. I could think that it is because I left the company, but besides that, the matter is all talented people that hired me on this project, and hired by the old team, they also left the team, and that's why in any case it seems that those brand in Russia was built by the talented people, and after they left the Live Journal, of course, it left its level of popularity. But right now it is exist, but I didn't have my live journal, my account, because I've deleted it after I left the management. So many IT sector, I really like all that connected with startup industry. When I was, it was 2012 when the war started, and I realized that I'm Ukrainian. I didn't want to come back to restaurant business because of I have no guarantee to get my salary in the end. And I've heard that one of the guys from Ukraine said that you should go to come back to IT management or IT industry, because it's one of the highest rates, salaries on the market, and you will be safe. And so I realized that I need to come back to IT in any way. And thanks God, I've come back to IT industry in 2017. And started to make with various teams ICOs. My sister, she has designed an agency. They are making rendering, so 3D mapping, all this stuff, and she worked for American market, and she advised me, you should look at this guy, Vitaly Buterin. He's genius, and it is very cool. Bitcoin, read about this. But in 2008, 7 and 8, when we was making anti-bank project, one woman from UNDP come to me and propose us to participate, to part in one government program from UNDP Habitat, it's called. So because they like our ideas, and she told me that those women was survivor from Chernobyl disaster, and she was a child, and they go to Ukraine, and because people were afraid of people who were nearby Chernobyl, they thought that they could get some radiation, so they immigrated to Argentina, and there she started to work in UNDP and come back to Ukraine. And she told me that, Victoria, in couple of years there is no money at all. There will be just figures, you will see. And it was like I suppose that she meant about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and we look at her those time and say that she's crazy. So my company, Project Anti-Bank, and the investor, Quart Capital, they didn't want to take part in this program, and that's why Anti-Bank project shut down in 2008, unfortunately. But it was the first time when I heard about something about cryptocurrency. And I suppose that cryptocurrency, it's a cool story for everybody, no matter in what circumstance person is. To conquer in life, it's some social lift. Of course, there is no social lift. You should be persistent. You should work day by day. You need not to be a lazy person, but it gives some possibility, because I've met people. One guy, he was has HIV, and he was a cryptocurrency trader. For him, it was like some sort of source of work, because as you know, people are still afraid of this disease, and he could earn on his life in such a way. So that's why if you see these examples, for me, I was a migrant and Gastarbeiter, so it was not so simple to be in Russia those times. So IT sector was liberal, and they don't care about what are your age, or what is your age, or what citizenship do you have. So if you smart, you will conquer, you will get. If you're not smart, of course you won't. So for beautiful eyes, and you could work in other areas, but which is not bad, because one girl could be a webcam model. It's not bad. It's just a choice. But in any case, cryptocurrency is the way to earn money by your brain. And I suppose for any woman, today it's International Women's Day, it is important to earn her own money and to be smart, because if you will be smart, you obviously will be beautiful with aging. It is always on your face and on your soil. What is you reading? What are you reading? What are you watching? With what people, which circle you have, etc. So
yeah, it's yeah, I'm listening to your story. It's fascinating. You know how you've done so much. You clearly have a passion for all sorts of technologies, of sort of what's coming. You know what's hot, and you mentioned earlier. You know there are certain things I guess they wanted you to get involved. You say no, I don't believe in this, and you didn't. But as you move from PR and more heavily into tech, and you know, as mentioned at the beginning, you've brought us on the show several clients over the years in terms of the vertical, the autonomous vehicles, and unique IT and so forth. Were there particular areas of tech that you had a passion for? I say in tech in general, like what were the types of things that, you know, if Victoria, you're sitting around and you're watching TV or you're reading the magazines, what are the areas that get you personally most excited looking out? Obviously, you know, here we are in 2022. We just came out of a major pandemic. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on in the world today. But what are the areas that get you excited if you're looking out, say, 5-10 years from now? That you say, I want to be involved in this at some level.
I'm sure that biotech, it's like new dot era and new.com era in any case. So and longevity industry, it's one of the coolest industry that will rise these years in any case. Yes, I'm really interested in flying car markets, VTOL, and fortunately have one client, Vimana Global, in this area. But right now, unfortunately, with the war and this situation that involved all the part of the world, I suppose that only US market will move forward here. So the VTOL market will move US or Asia market. I also think that African market could make something in this area, just promoted as an area for startups that move from Europe, for example, from Eastern Europe. And hope, I like cryptocurrency in any case. But if we're talking about some where I see myself in a couple years, I suppose in any case I will continue more my work from non-government for TAFS or any other charity association or organization, and it is better for you, for your personality, and it is interesting task to solve. And biotech, cryptocurrency, yes, sure. But fintech, it's like I have experience with forex market. I work with a Paris company in Russia, was and as a PR pro. It is very dynamic market, and it depends from the analytical research of speakers that here. And if in IT and, for example, in cryptocurrency, you could make some forecasts, write your own columns, or usually PR Pro writing columns for the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, at least in Russia and Ukraine. I don't know how in US. And cryptocurrency will rise, but it depends also from government regulations. So here, in any case, I know that FBI, one of the main holder of Bitcoin. That's why I think that this market in any case will move forward, because it's like digital gold. It will it's like another opportunity for currency, for fiat currency, to get some to rise the level in the on exchange. So of course the economics that will implement the currency, cryptocurrency, will rise. I suppose so. And right now, the biotechnology longevity industry, it's the industry we are watching every day. Space tech as well. It's one of the my first profession, when people or girls or boys dreaming who you are when you grown up. So I dreamed that I will be a cosmonaut. After that, I thought that I watched Indiana Jones, and I thought, no, I need to go like archaeologist. So like Indiana Jones, open up some Egyptian pyramids. And after that, I grown up and decided that I need to study whatever I will do in my future. I need to study some economical law and marketing to understand how to earn money, how market is working. In Russia, in the former USSR, it quite differs from Western market, because even when we are studying, we were studying, our teachers say to us that we are describing you right now how market is working, but when you go on the street, when you went to the street, you will realize that everything you hear here doesn't work on the street. So you should just, like demand and supply rules, and that's all. You need to pay taxes usually, but in Russia and Ukraine, it's not so simple. Usually people do not pay taxes because it's not Germany. They're not so discipline oriented. But that is how I thought on our future. I hope that we'll solve our conflict inside Europe right now in Ukraine and Russia. Because if it wouldn't stop, I suppose that we should move to US, to Latin America or Africa or Australia, because the wars usually do not help to move forward any technology at all, except war technology.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very prescient point at this point in time, and that you think of the amount of innovation that we've lost just because of the amount of money they get spent. But that's, as I said, that's we can keep our fingers crossed and pray that this does not go much further than it's gone, and we'll be getting back to more of a normal, especially coming off of the pandemic. But Victor, as you talk about some of these other areas, and you took us through sort of the journey earlier in Europe and of course Ukraine and your time between there and Russia. Africa has been very hot on your list lately. I know, I think our past first cross when it came to TAFS, the Transdisciplinary War of the Future Discussions, is fascinating think tank that's focused on not just futurism and exponential technologies, but of course Africa. You're involved with them now in terms of sort of spreading the word, in terms of the PR. You have this global summit that's going to be coming up in South Africa in a few weeks. Talk about TAFS, if you would, a bit, and sort of just some of if you can talk about the conference, sort of who's going to be there, what the audience is all about, and just say a few words about Africa in general, because I think it is a frontier that is getting very hot on the exponential innovation stage.
Yes, I was invited by one of my colleagues from longevity industry. So he heard about Van Helsing, where I was by director. Yep. So Alexander de Pera-Salomon, and he invited me to TAFS, and I said, okay, no problem. It is interesting task to solve, so let's do it. And we started to work in 2019. So it just was like some conference, and right now, yes, we will make some big step, and in the end of the month, we'll get the huge conference in Sun City, Johannesburg. Mm-hmm. In South Africa, and there will be a lot of big names in longevity, in like big futurist. We have some help from Minister of Tourism of South Africa as well. They help us to organize the work there, so yeah, and visas as well, and we wait for Aubrey de Grey, David Wood, so a lot of people who are involved into Natasha Delavita more so, who are involved in Transhumanist Party of US, which is also our like some patron, and Humanity Plus, the website, the initiative of Humanity Plus, and it is interesting because it's some sort of agile, more about agile, because frankly, several times we're changing some vision how we will develop our organization, and but on that stage, it's like the main goal is to develop African region and to open up so people eyes on the problem of the African region, and to involve there some new startups, because for example, there are a lot of telecom niches that could be conquered by various companies, and I know that Skolkovo also made several Zoom session with the startups who are working right now in Africa, and there were Ukrainian and Russian startups, without no politics, and they describe their experience, and a lot of Asian startups also look at this market, because yes, there are a lot of humanitarian problems as well, but also there are a lot of possibilities for startup hubs. and youth people who are interested to develop, to discuss ideas, who are not, who are open politically, and who are not afraid to say something. Like in China or in Russia, we try to not to say something additional to the existing situation. So yes, it's. I hope that we will meet together there. So I invited you, Ira, because I know that Dr. Kalush wrote you as well. So I don't know what will for me it will like some it is like some new new task to or new problem to solve because it's not so easy. We some different by mentality team and when there is some complex psychological stories about that people from South Africa think that Nigerian are not so honest people. People from South Africa think that Russian not so open to people also. So we just conquer this. It's like I'm not against the globalization, frankly, and that I even think that if, for example, aliens will have war with us, we just realize that we're just people of the earth, and yes, we have different mentality, different countries, but we people of the earth, and we should respect the all the that happens here and our neighbors in any case. And I suppose that globalization is most about this, that you are the person of the earth, not the person of some citizenship. And it is cool that to be proud of your country. It is right to proud of your country, but it is right also do not harm your neighbors as well, or be rude towards people who are differs from you by nationality or government status. So
Absolutely.
so we will get to the conference. Right now we have some Zoom session with the speakers, and we also will invite several schools from to see youth there. Hope that we also have I don't know, could I tell that we have a call with Kim Nazel as well. So when we make him proposition, but right now he's just consider reading and study our proposition. Hope he join us as well. So.
Yeah,
it's that it will be cool. It will be cool if American rap star and show business star, people who have success story in their life of ups and downs, be opened with the youth. Of African youth and to describe the experience, to give them hope that you could do this as well, so you could conquer in life as well. You could get your personal success story. Just move forward and do not use drugs and do not drink too much alcohol, make sports, and so read books.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kim's a great guy. He's done so much in terms of straddling those worlds of both hip hop and of course high tech. And it's great that you're mentioning that part of the TAFS initiative is to inspire the next generation. And with that, even though you're quite young, but at the same time, what is your personal message for youth, whether it's in Africa, whether U.S. youth, Russian youth, whatever? Give them the message of inspiration as far as why they should be focused on STEM, why they should be focused on moving things forward in this way. Take a couple of minutes just to talk to the younger generation that's coming along that wants to go on this path. Say a few words to them, if you would.
As far as I see, young generation is are the coolest ones. So they open up. They do not say the truth to make some protest. I just could advise: do not listen the props and watch the props, and to realize that the government, it's not always the people in the country, and if someone right now do not agree with the position of Russian government, it doesn't mean that Russian scientists or Russian students or Russian IT managers or cryptocurrency specialists are bad. And the matter is that if their voices will solve something, will be solving something, it will be, the situation will be solved. But in Russia, the voice of people not always solve something. So that's why I just ask to not hate each other, and understand that Russian, Ukrainian, and the one people, the people who are brothers in any case. So they are different, of course, they are different, and I saw this, I'm sure of that. But it is neighbors. The war is not this. Didn't solve the situation that they want to solve right now. So, and people, you should respect the difference of the other person in any case that we try to solve in our organization. Because, for example, we made one, we helped one organization to organize a conference, and I tried to move forward the process, and didn't understand that in South Africa they have some problem with the internet, and it is irritates me, because I thought that people present in the internet, then they disappeared or didn't answer me my questions. That's why you should understand that every person have their own mentality difference, and if he is different or she is different, it doesn't mean it not obvious. It is not obvious or she is bad. So respect the difference, and just try to negotiate whatever you do in your life.
Yep.
So it's a bit of we should study etiquette and diplomacy, and how to respect each other, for sure. And no matter will you work in restaurant business or in service, or you just IT manager in some company, or your company owner, you should respect the difference of other person. That's what I want to advise, and to advise to all young women to earn, to have their own realization, business realization, professional realization, or hobby, at least, that could get you some money, because it's life.
Excellent messages. So, Victoria, you've taken us on a fascinating journey as we've been talking. You've taken us from Germany to Ukraine to Russia. You've taken us into Africa. We've talked public relations. We've talked technology. We've talked the future. And we talked about hip hop. But what we didn't talk about, and I believe I read somewhere that at some time across your fabulous career that you were in a hip hop band. And I guess, I'm sitting here in the United States. I didn't think too much about Ukrainian, Russian hip hop, but talk a little bit about your experiences as a hip hop artist back in the day.
Oh, it was in my university times. I realized that we have not so much money to go to clubs, and we were one of the best students on the course with my twin sister, and I proposed her to stay. Let's do not pay for the nightclubs, like dance in the nightclubs as a go-go dancer. So we started to work as a go-go dancer. It was hip hop dances, usually, and breakbeat. After the club was fired us because of just one guy want to have some affair with me, and I refused him. My sister was depressed. I never thought about musical career. I made some poems, but for myself, and I proposed to sister to let's record some album, because we sing in the school. We were in choir, so have mezzo soprano both, and we record one album. We have the name. It was our group. It was called Gin Tonic. I was gin, she was tonic. So we record several 7 songs and take part at the Ukrainian national contest Молодая Хвиля. It was in Donetsk. We got the 3rd place. And after that, I moved to Kiev and didn't continue our our song career, because I have some proposition to be a singer, but my sister didn't get that proposition, and I realized that if I got this proposition, it was Viagra, Ukrainian group, Russian. That if I got this proposition, I've lost my sister, twin sister, because she dreamed about song career, show business. For me, it was like just for fun. And that's why I stopped, and just it was in my 21. I was 21 years old, and I need to survive in Kiev. And I realized that I hated to write something, some essay at school, but Vadim Marchuk, the owner of the Kyiv Weekly, proposed me to continue my career in as a as a singer, continue my model career. I was elite model Millennium in Donetsk, and or just try to be a journalist. And I just realized that I need to pay for my bills, and I said, okay, just I will be the journalist of your newspaper. It's cool. So my first salary was $150, and I paid for my apartment $115, so $45 for life for months. And after that, I just realized that Kyiv is a good city. It is the capital of Ukraine, and my twin sisters in Donetsk, they have no museum. I thought that it is not so good for her, like for her fun, for her future. And I said, she's my older sister. Come to me. I will help you with a job, and let's live in Kyiv. So she moved to Kyiv, and we started to live together. So it's the problem with a twin sister, because if you have two twin sisters, you should live separately. In our case, we should definitely live separately, because we are so different person with different. So if we are in one room, she started to drink coffee. I started to come back to tea, drink tea. We are on various continents, various governments. I drink coffee, she drink coffee, so we have similar tastes. That's why, but I suppose, frankly, I never thought that show business career it is good to make in Ukraine, and I was thinking about Russia, because Russia is a huge market for show business. As far as I was the daughter of a military man, my mother was against our dancing career, our show business career. It's not. It's like not good for the future wife of a military man. So. But yes, I go to show business because after that, in Ukraine, I was a journalist of Penthouse Ukraine. We started to build some new magazine, new lifestyle, man lifestyle, with the former team of L'Officiel Ukraine. We open up this magazine, and after that, Playboy Ukraine opened up in Ukraine. So it was quite fun. But in any case, when you're working as a journalist, when I arrived to Moscow, I realized that you do understand that your level of language, of Russian language even, and journalist level not so high as they have in Moscow. Because, for example, when I was in working on RU-TV, our team was built by MTV people, MTV Russia, and they describe us how BBC study them, how to make some journalism, how to make stories. In Ukraine, we didn't have these studies. We just look at the Russian style of journalism and try to copy. For example, we know that there is some journalist of facts, and in newspaper where I was working, thanks God, we just never, and I was lucky, was the lucky one, because I have a very awesome editor, and she studied me that if you are not expert, you could never point your point of view in your article. I'm sorry, my cat. That's why every time when I was writing as a journalist, I try not to write my opinion, but to operate by facts. So with show business, it doesn't last long, but with journalism, yes, it was till 2008, 2007, and it is good because I was like a foxy, because very lucky one, because one time I was open up the new magazine and get the areas of shopping, restaurant, and nightclubs. So just you go to shopping, after that you go to restaurant, after that you go to nightclubs, and because of you are a journalist, you are welcome everywhere. So it was like my greedy person. So just try to minimize my spendings in Kiev, and but it's like I don't think that it was some sort of youth. I don't know. Right now, you are considered as a young person till 35. When I was working, my bosses was 41, and I saw the very old guy, because they started business in 2021. So they were every person that I met were very disciplined, have very high level of discipline, and they always pay their bills. So it was interesting to work with them, because you were in safe, and you make some creative ideas. You realize your creative ideas. But in any case, in Russia, I never. I was ashamed that For example, I didn't like Russian showbiz industry, and didn't understand why, because here the information posted a little bit on from the other side. In Ukraine, because you have not so many content for musical TV, you always mix the news from art industry, from classical industry, maybe some exhibition, even in embassies, museum exhibitions, and fashion and music, showbiz stars, so-called. And in Russia, you have a lot of show business stars. You didn't, because if you want to describe your viewers about some exhibitions, you should go to culture TV channel. So they have different TV channels for each area of news. And I was a little bit disappointed, because I thought that we should promote it, new level of for the youth, open up the new style of living for youth. But here, a lot of prominent and cool online magazines we saw last year. So it is very good, because it's like some sort of love magazine, so they integrate it inside online, and it's look cool. So yeah, look cool, with a lot of freedom, with interesting topics, interesting as for adult people or older people, and for young people as well. So they educate people, open up some vision, and you understand that the younger generation are, of course, clever than we are, and the wise in sometimes.
This is true. This is true, but we know a lot of stuff too. It's Victoria, it's
if you want to be a star, if you want to be a rap star, you should go to Western market, you should go to LA, you should start to write in English, or you should write in Russian, like Skriptonit right now, or Morgenstern, a lot of rap singer who are popular in US. You should be so talented that your Russian rap perceived by Western US people, like or UK people, as a cool stuff. And that is how with the international music industry, because you couldn't realize in rap it is much easy to do, because you use always beat, and because you use a beat, just started to dance people, to conquer people to dance, and they move your vibe, and by your vibe, and that's why you will stay popular. But for example, we have trip hop singers, and our group was most about trip hop, not about hip hop.
okay.
And because it was not so light poems, just we try to get also like modern rap singer, right now, singer here in Moscow or Ukraine started to people, let's try to think about something, and it was cool. But the other reason I stopped, because if you're writing some poems, it's my personal point of view, and if we are looking at Russian classical poetries, you always, it's like some mantra, and you could just predict your destiny. And because our poems was not so light and happy, I realized that I predict my destiny somehow, and I predicted my destiny, and that's why I stopped. So it was 21, because when you predicted your destiny, you don't like what you see. You just, but you can't think that you love some guy, and it's all. That's you. That's why I decided to stop. Maybe I will come back sometimes. In any case, for us, I just want to say why Gymnazel, because for us, my youth was in Donetsk, and all people listen to Tupac Shakur and rap singer. I know a lot of girls who lost their virginity listening to Tupac Shakur. Every time when guys meet girls, they listen to Tupac Shakur, LL Cool J. So it always was about rap music in Donetsk. In Kyiv, it's like Kyiv, like French style city. They have French style rap. Ukrainian rap is like French style rap. Russian, it's rap have born in Donetsk. So because the main Russian old school rap group, they were from, this group was from Donetsk. All the guys were from Donetsk. Almost all of the team were from Donetsk, and they moved to St. Petersburg, then they moved to Germany. After that, they come back to Moscow and started to make some albums and make rap culture popular. Hope we will make sometimes the concert of in TAFS of Russian, Ukrainian rappers and American rap industry. It will be interesting, I suppose.
Absolutely, it is. It is a wonderful example of a cultural language that has made it around the world, and as you were just saying, in so many different forms. And it's just another nice example of how we're all different, but we're all pretty much the same. And there's just so much that we could be doing to move this whole world forward in a positive way, and I hope we see more of that. I really enjoyed listening to your journey, Victoria. You've done so much, and you've been involved in so much, and really, as I said, from the time I've known you, I've been reading you on for everything that you've been up to, and really wishing you the best with all of it. For everybody that's going to be listening to this episode across the podcast networks or watching on the YouTube channel, once again, you've been listening to Victoria Laskina-Ustimenko, bringing her vision, her futurism, a multidisciplinary futuristic vision, progressive thinking, and really looking at the world in a unique way to make it better. And this is really the mission of our show, to profile people like Victoria and what she's been up to throughout her career, and doing her piece to make this world a better place. So, Victoria, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to do this. I know it's been quite busy on your end, but thanks for the time. Obviously, thank you for everything that you've been doing. Obviously, thank you for all the great guests that you've brought us over the years. And as we like to say on this show, thank you for helping create a better tomorrow through what you're doing. You have a great story there, and I'm so glad I've been able to profile you alongside your clients now as well.
Thank you, Vara. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very honored and happy to participate in your show. Thank you.